Fill in the blanks. This is one of the rather easy ones. This is how it looks like. The volume adjustment bar, and you're gonna have a short preparation time. This is the text you will get, and then there's gonna be blanks for you to fill as quick as possible. Communicative skills tested in this question type are listening and writing, meaning that it will contribute to your listening and writing scores. The question affects the scoring of them both. You'll be given a short script with blanks in it, obviously. As recording begins, you should type the missing words in the blanks as you hear them and jump to the next one really quickly. You will have 7 seconds to prepare and to get ready and focus. Use this time for a very quick skim over the script to understand what it's really about, what the topic is, because it kind of prepare your brain to do the rest. The question time comes out of your overall listening section time, so you'd want to save as much time as possible in this section to use later on much harder questions, especially that this is a fairly easy question type to tackle. The recording goes on for 30 to 60 seconds. The scoring, there's obviously no negative marks, so make sure to fill out all of them. Don't leave any of them blank. There's 1 point for each correct word, which is also correctly spelled, and obviously 0 for anything other than that. Now, how to answer that, and what are the tips and tricks? This directly depends on your vocabulary, this question type. If you notice missing words, you're gonna pick them up right away as you hear them and write them down with no spelling error. If you're not fast enough to write the word, the whole word down, as is the case for majority of candidates, then just type abbreviations and correct them later. I advise you to type rather than using pen and notepad. Later at the end of the recording, complete those abbreviations. For example, if it's biology, it's enough to only write down 4 letters and then fix the spelling at the end, just so you can catch the speaker and fill out all the blanks. Or like something like commitment can be written down abbreviated like this one. Issues start when you don't know the word that you hear at all. In that case, write exactly what you heard and try to guess the right spelling at the end. For example, imagine you hear confiscated and you don't know that word at all. What you can write down looks something like this, okay? But most probably, when you go back to fix the spelling, you'll be able to guess the right spelling from patterns that you have in your memory, from words with similar structures from before. That is something that your brain helps you with without you even knowing about it. Look at this example. For the word confiscated, for example, you know the word conflict and you know the word, for example, educated. So you know how conf is written and you know how cated is written. So the only part you have to guess is really is. And so it's gonna be really possible for you to guess the spelling of this word even if you don't know the word and you've never heard about it. So make sure to write down whatever you hear and then try to figure out the spelling at the end of the recording. Now, if you can't hear or remember if the word was plural or singular, past verb form or present, third person singular or not. Just read the script and find out what the correct form is. Sometimes if you weren't able to hear the word, you can guess what it can be and write it down just from the script that you have right there. There are no negative marks here, so make sure to leave no blanks empty. Fill out those which you don't know with your best guess. Leave nothing empty. This is kind of another form for write from dictation with a difference. Here you write as you hear and must be swift to follow the speaker and get to the next blank on time. All you need to tackle this question type is to focus and follow the speaker. It basically is like a game of speed and attention. Follow the line with cursor or your eyes. It is really easy to miss a big chunk in this type of question. And because of that, you should write or type the words as fast as you can. It doesn't need to have all the letters and right spelling. Just write something down so you don't miss on the rest of the blanks, and go back to check and revise them at the end of the question and at the end of the recording. Now, just have to mention it here. I believe it is better to type the answer as you go and press tab key to go to the next blank instead of scribbling it down, because first, you might lose track of the text when you look down at your notepad to write down the word. And second, you'll end up spending some more time typing what you've written down. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to waste the time you need for much harder questions on such avoidable task. The trick here is usually making you lose the line. The twist is that, or make you get stuck on one word and miss out on the rest. If you've never heard the word, or if you don't know the spelling, just write it down as similar as possible to what you heard. You will try to work out spelling at the end and before hitting next button. For example, if the word is persuasive and you've never heard it, just write down what you heard like this. This is actually how you hear it, persuasive, okay? So you have an idea of how it sounds. So you can try to work out the right spelling when you're reviewing the answers. Do not get stuck on one of the blanks and end up losing track of the script and ruin your whole question. You need to practice and learn when to spend some time to solve a problem and answer a question, and when to let go. Remember, each blank gets you 1 point only. Don't get stuck in one of them and just waste all of your time that you're going to need later for much harder questions with more marks allocated to them. Emergency. The most common emergency scenario that we can imagine for this question is when you lose track and when you can't find your point in the script. You're writing down the word in the second blank and you look up, you want to see where the speaker is, you can't find your point. In that case, just jump 2 blanks forward and wait on the last sentence before that blank for the speaker to get there. You can estimate if you wasted more time and need to jump maybe more blanks, but usually there's not going to be more than 4 or 5 blanks in this question. So usually 2 works. Don't panic. You're finished filling out the blank, you look up, you can't find the point, just jump 2 blanks and wait for the speaker. And start continuing with filling the blanks. At the end, just write something in the blanks. There's no negative mark. Read the text and see what word could be suitable in that blank and just fill it without wasting time and hit the next button as quick as possible.